Open your back door, baby.
Oh yeah, is that Yenin? Yeah.
The Dawn Father shall
About
stand
to
as a
wreck y'all
flame in the
shit. We back. More Vox Machina, baby. I know it's been a long journey, but we finally hitting the home stretch. If I'm not mistaken, these episodes were uploaded in 3 episode increments on Amazon Prime. We finally hitting these last 3. We got 12 total, so we on episode 10 now. Last episode flipped things on its head a little bit, especially with these damn vampires confusing me. So we gonna read comments from both episode 8 and 9 just so I can refresh myself, catch up on some old comments, and you guys can clear things up from me based from or for me from the previous episode. But new faces, welcome to the island. Some of you are coming over from the Expanse. If you're new, I appreciate you guys, of course, but also if you're not used to the formula, we do a recap, read comments, react, then review / theorize. So stick around to the end. Okay, so real quick recap. These damn vampires, like I said, Delilah. I was under the impression that they could only be turned by a bite and being drained of their blood. It confused me a little bit the way she brought him back with her spell. But she's a necromancer, she's a wizard, so that shouldn't surprise me. But I that is gonna have to be cleared up for me just a little bit. But then again, you guys have also told me that with this world D&D, anything's possible. So nothing should really surprise me, but I just want to get a grasp on how things are working on the show compared to the D&D game. So yeah, we got that. I did notice Delilah with her necklace. You guys let me know I was correct in thinking so. The necklace is made of residuum, but also in the flashback, when she revived Silas, she already had a piece of that residuum. So I'm wondering if that's always been a source of her power and she knew about it, that, or maybe that was just the heirloom that passed down to her and it just kind of amplified her powers without her knowing, and then she learned it on later down the road. And also I'm wondering if that's her or their reason for coming and kind of seeking out Anders, because they knew he was so into the research of the residuum, or if that just happened randomly. So I am looking forward to getting more into that. And also with her spell, you guys cleared that up for me too. The spell that she did at the end to protect Silas, she used her own blood as like a sacrificer to be able to pull off the spell. I'm wondering, I noticed with these dead puppets that she brings back to life, they when they attack, they draw a lot of blood. I guess this could be a possibility too. Does their assistance or their attacks kind of lengthen the spell? Does it make it more powerful from the blood they drain from whoever they're attacking, if that makes sense? So just a random quick question thought that I had. We had Keyleth doing her thing as always, because that's what she do. She just beast. We had Vax hitting on her. He needs to step aside. Y'all know the deal with Keyleth. But yeah, she showed off her powers once again. We had a little bit of a bittersweet moment with Archibald. We lost him. I don't know why I like him so much. We really didn't get too much of him. I just liked his character. He was kind of the leader of the resistance, but like I said, bittersweet. We lost him, but we kind of gained Percy. He took that step up, and now he's taken his rightful spot as the leader of Whitestone and kind of like this resistance. So I like seeing them in that role. I hope they come to respect Cassandra a little bit more. I know she said that she was worried that they wouldn't trust her since she's been with the Briarwoods for so long. But I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops throughout the rest of this series and next season. So there's that. We had Pike coming back, Beast, and she stole the show, of course. Healed Scanlan right off the bat. We had, and also, you guys, it's been a theme in all these videos. I ask, you guys answer and clear things up for me. So she came back as an astral projection. I know some of you guys said that was in part because her voice actress, sorry, I'm blanking on her name, was away working on Blind Spot. So that's how the astral projection kind of projected its way into the show, or that played a part in it. But I'm wondering, with the ability of characters like Scanlan, Keyleth, all these characters who can polymorph into animals and stuff like that. So when they take damage in their animal form, I'm wondering if it's the same thing with Pike. Because she said she felt the hug that Grog gave her when they met up. So I'm assuming she can take some type of damage. I just don't know how much she can take because she seems like a beast, like I said, pretty powerful. So I'm assuming she could take a lot of damage before uh, her actual body takes damage from whatever attack it may be. I guess it just depends on the character that she's facing. So we had that, and then of course at the end, the cliffhanger. They're gonna give me a heart attack at some point, but I love them with this lady. Oh, another thing, Percy, his power. I don't know why I didn't realize until last episode. I don't even think I mentioned it in the review or theories of the end of last reaction. When his smoke kicks in, the eyes come on or the mask comes on. There's that like distant whispering. So I'm wondering, and the same whispering came up uh when Delilah found her book or she does like her spells. So I'm wondering if both their powers are based in arcane magic and based from this whispered one deity, demon, devil, whatever you're supposed to call it. But just a question that I have that's been raised through the what the show's given me. So yeah, that's that. I think I have no clue who this woman is that they introduced at the end. I had some theories at the end of last one, but I don't know. We're gonna see, in maybe not in this one, but in coming up. So let's do this. Let's get into these comments because y'all know how long I like to go. Let's start recording the screen real quick. Like I said, we're gonna start in episode. Let's do episode 8, I believe these are gonna be. Yeah, so episode 8. We'll start at the top again, or the bottom, the first comments that came in. And like I said, I always appreciate it. I try to get through as many of these as I can. Maybe I can only imagine how long that final reaction is going to be. But like I said, I might have to do another video with just showing appreciation and reading you guys' comments and just interacting with you guys. So yeah, let's get into these. We got Douglas Hampshire. You said they're both demons and devils. Okay. Main difference is devils are lawful and demons are chaotic in nature. Okay. For instance, if you make a deal with a devil, there will be a contract to sign, probably with fine print. Okay, so that makes sense. I like that aspect of the show, and it kind of reminds me of I've referenced this show a couple of times, I think, but Supernatural, one of my favorite shows. They deal a lot with angels, demons, and stuff like that, different deities. So that reminds me of the devils, or even like the Crossroads demons in that show, even though they're not chaotic by nature. So maybe a bad reference, but that's what it reminds me of. Thanks for your comment, Douglas. Jonathan Siegel. Welcome back. I've seen you in here. The symbol in the sky is the Derolo family crest that Percy talked about. Okay. Yeah, you guys cleared that up for me in last comment section. The resistance uses it as their symbol too, so it's a giant call to arms for the town. And let me remember to like all y'all comments as I'm going, so y'all know I'm reading these and actually reacting to the next episode. Thank you, Jonathan. We got Blue Vortex. Fun fact, you'll notice that when Cassandra is revived by Keyleth, we are initially faked out that the spell didn't work. True. This is actually, one of you guys said, would it technically be a revival? Because I think you said that she didn't actually bring her to life. She kind of just healed her, and that was just like a delay in the spell actually working. If I remember you describing that correctly. This is actually a trick Matt pulls on the group every time. Oh, a little sneaky DM, huh? They they try to resurrect someone. He'll describe what the spell looks like, e.g. the green firefly lights enveloping Cassandra. Then he'll imply that the target of the spell does not respond. Stay silent for a few seconds that honestly feel like a minute before making a gasping breath to indicate they are. That's awesome. And like I said, I've shown a lot of appreciation respect for these DMs, not only for their ability to improvise on the spot, but their imagination as well. And I know this is all fun and games, but it seems like a job in itself. Maybe not because they're just having so much fun playing the game, but that blows my mind just to hear the little details you guys give me and how in depth they go when running these games. So that's awesome. The cast hate him for it every time. I would too. Y'all see how I react to these cliffhangers, so I know I would be on another level when it comes to playing the game if I had a DM as good as Matt. Because of the emotional roller coaster it puts them on. It's a brilliant move, in my opinion. It absolutely is, as it demonstrates that you can't expect resurrection to work. Okay, so I guess I should expect that too. That they'll try to pull the okie doke on us a little bit, where it gets to a point where maybe a few times it works and we just come to expect it to continually work. And then when we expect it to work again, they'll pull the curtains from over our eyes. And I'll be punching my screen. Hopefully that doesn't happen with one of our main characters, but we'll see. No matter how flashy or powerful your magic, if it happened to Keelan, I might cry. Let's see. We got Ayan Abdullah. Welcome back. I know I've read one of your comments before. Once again, you're asking all the right questions. I try. You guys make it easy for me, to be honest, in these comment sections with all the knowledge you give me. Here are some spoiler-free answers. Some abilities like healing can cross into other classes and subclasses, while clerics are the ones people mostly think of as the healers. Druids like Keyleth, bards like Scanlan, and the lesser extent rangers, even rangers, have some access to healing spells. On the original stream, Anders was a bard. So he didn't have his silver tongue, or I don't even know if was he even associated with the Briarwoods in the live stream, or is that completely different for the show? On the original stream, Anders was a bard, an evil version, but a bard nonetheless. There are some spells that we would rather consider unethical in the real world that bards have access to. Dominate person, which allows you to, that's the name of the spell, to override another person's will, is probably what Anders was using in this case. Animate objects is, I love that this game is already so difficult, or I guess detail oriented in itself. I'm glad that the spell names aren't like some crazy out there long titles like Percy's name to describe them, and they're just straightforward. I love that. Animate objects is another higher level bard spell, which lets you see everyday items as weapons, turning the statues to life. And finally, while there are devils and demons in D&D and in Exandria, specifically the opposition to the good aligned gods, got it, and goddesses, i.e. the Everlight, the Wild Mother, Platinum, Dragon, etc., are the betrayer gods, goddesses, i.e. the Spider Queen, the Crawling King, and the Chained Oblivion. Those sound fire. I know they're evil, but I might be tempted to. I guess that would be the DM's job mostly, but just hearing about those makes me intrigued. And another thought that brings up, this might seem kind of obvious, I guess, but for each one of these classes, does each one have its specific weakness against another class? I know I touched on it a little bit with asking about Anders' tongue and whether more characters would be more susceptible. Wow. Susceptible to you guys know what I mean, to that spell or charm, whatever you want to call it. With Pike, is her HP or her attack damage set no matter who she goes against, or do these dead puppets, necromancers, take additional damage because Pike is like their weakness, since she's on the good god side of things, and necromancers would worship like devils, demons, and stuff like that. If that makes sense, let me know in the comment section, unless it's a spoiler. I feel like that falls under rules, so it wouldn't be too much of a spoiler. But Charles Kinzakowski, hopefully I'm getting that right. I think I am. Druids like Keyleth and D&D can use healing magic as well as clerics can, but they also have more combat oriented spells, so they come out more often for that, and most groups got it. As far as the residuum in the campaign, it is used to replace things that are normally required to cast spells. Okay. Like some spells require diamonds, but instead they could use residuum instead. Got it. And I take it that goes across the board. Any spell that could use diamonds could use residuum instead, or is it just certain spells? In the battle in the campaign, Anders was used with bardic abilities, like Scanlan in this episode. I think he used two specific spells, animate objects, to control the armors. Yeah, like I was talking to, or which I referenced, Full Metal, I believe. When I asked about that, and dominate person to mind control the group directly. As far as the is she dead or not, Matt has a nasty habit of playing up the failure of healing revival abilities to mess with the player and audience to build tension, and it always works. I believe it. I would love to be a part of that and have a DM just play mind games like that. I guess it would just make you more invested in the story and everything in general. So that's something I would love to be a part of. And like I said, you guys have been giving me options to introduce me to the game, so I can't wait to jump into that after we finish these reactions. Shimon or Shimon Kramer, I know I've read one of your comment or a couple of your comments. I hope I'm still getting your name right. If not, correct me. The world name Exandria, continent. Yep, I asked you guys to clear this up for me as far as the city, town, continent, and world. So you're doing that. Thank you. Exandria, continents, Taldore, Marquette, Isilra, and Wildemount. It sounds like, or looks like. Briarwoods are from Wildemount. Got it. I'm guessing that's where they were in that little flashback. Taldore has small nations amongst it, but most of it falls under sovereign Taldore rule, with the capital city of Amon, the elven kingdom of Singorn, and Whitestone falling outside of its rule, but with close alliances among others. Read more. Nope, that's all of it. Cool, perfect. Thank you, Shimon. I appreciate that, clearing things up for me once again. Who we got? Lysmith, bidet. I didn't say bidet at the beginning of this episode. Bidet, everybody, critters, and everyone. Just to clarify, general mind control in D&D, there are a few basic tiers. Okay, of mind control. The lowest tier is things like the spell charm person. Charm. So that would be like what Silas used on Uriel. Which just makes the afflicted person view the caster as a trusted friend, but doesn't actually make the afflicted person do anything. Okay. This is the basic sort of charm that vampires use. Okay, so I guess I wonder, is that sounds like what Silas did. Is there a cap on what he can do? Then again, you guys told me players can get better in advance, so I guess I'm just wondering if maybe they're too powerful and they kind of cap them at that level, or if they can upgrade and kind of ascend to not only that ability, but also what Anders was doing with his silver tongue. Or would they need that silver tongue, in a sense, to control people into doing what they wanted them to do? Let's keep reading. Maybe you answer that. The next highest tier is things like the spell suggestion, in which the caster suggests the course of action to the afflicted as if it were reasonable, and the afflicted is compelled to carry it out. They can't be compelled to directly harm themselves or others or do anything irrational. Okay, so they still, maybe not, they still have their own will. Well, to an extent, I guess they do. So anything logically that they would do on their own, they can't be controlled to do in this second tier, it sounds like. E.g., a bandit could be told, tell me where your base is, we'll go help you guys, but not tell me where your base is so I can go kill your friends. This is vaguely similar to what we saw Silas do. Okay, so Silas's ability was more in the second tier. It sounds like to do to Lord Uriel when he compelled him to protect Whitestone's independence. Okay, got it. The highest tier is spells like Dominate Person, like what Anders was using, which allows the caster to directly control the affected. They cannot reuse any command, refuse any command, even to kill themselves. Though anytime they take damage, they get another chance to resist the spell. This is what we see Anders do to Grog and the rest of Vox Machina to make them fight Percy. Okay. Thank you. That's really helpful in all that information you gave me. Hopefully none of it gets flipped upside down again with this next episode, but that seems pretty straightforward, and I should be able to remember that pretty easily. And I know you guys, like I said, you guys will keep reiterating it for me, so I'll definitely stick on to that knowledge. The Obsessor 11294. I've seen you before. Welcome back. So would you believe me if I said it get that's already been proven. I believe you. In the game, Anders was classed as a bard enemy, but for the animation adaptation, you could say the Briarwoods wanted to reward him with his silver tongue. Okay. That's why Vexalia said the most valuable thing in this room was Anders' mouth. Makes sense. And I think I raised the question if any of those other artifacts in the room. I assume that all that stuff was stuff collected by the Briarwoods and not Percy's family. So I'm wondering if any of those other artifacts have mystical, magical abilities, or if they've been even enchanted by. Actually, I think I saw like if I'm not mistaken, maybe like a dragon skull in there. It was some type of animal, I think. I don't know, but yeah, those intrigued me a little bit. Valuable thing in Anders' mouth. And last episode, when Anders slit Cassandra's throat, she actually stumbled over the window so the audience could see she had a reflection and thus was human. Yeah, so I saw that. I've seen a couple of you guys correct me on it. Yes, I caught that. I can't remember if I kept it in the reaction. Maybe I edited that part out where I acknowledged it. But I did notice her reflection after she stumbled was holding her throat, and I think she like grabbed onto the table or something. So in that moment, I was like, no, there's no way she's a vampire, because they've been pointing out the reflections after somebody takes damage or is about to die, just so you know that they're not a vampire. But I think what confused me was last episode 9. With Silas, his transformation into a vampire, the way he was transformed, and then the fact that his reflection didn't actually disappear until he was brought back or revived. So I think my train of thought was, even though as she was dying or supposedly dying and falling to the floor, in that moment I thought that maybe she was still human, and then once she got back up or was revived by Keyleth or whoever would have done it, that she would be a vampire in that moment. And when after she was revived, I don't think they showed her reflection up until the end of the episode when her and Percy were running over the puddle. So that's when I kind of noticed that. So just to clear that up, fun fact: Keyleth's spell is called Cloud Riding. That's when she revealed the Durolos symbol. And the symbol she displays in the Durolo's house symbol, or is the Durolo's house symbol in the sky. And good catch on the Residuum necklace. Thank you. I've gotten a few things correct and guessed a couple things right. And I appreciate the applause for when I do get them right, because I know I'm wrong on a lot of stuff. So thank you. That was a little Easter egg the Critical Role team put into the show, how the Briarwoods made good use of the Durolo's resources, as it is magical amplifier. Now I'm wondering, the way you guys are explaining it, it seems like maybe they knew the Durolos had this resource and took advantage of it. But I'm wondering, even if they didn't have all this, they would still be a problem to be reckoned with. I'm assuming, and I'm starting to question. I assumed Silas was kind of the leader of things, but Delilah is kind of running things. She's shown off the most power. So I'm wondering if most of this plotting is all by her doing, and what exactly her motives are in doing so. And just, there's been a lot of moments. I'm wondering if Silas is actually pivotal to the plot, or if he's being kept around simply based off her love for him, or does is he really going to come into play as far as maybe abilities? Maybe his blood's important. I don't know. We'll have to see as that goes on. And that little dance Scanlon did at the end was a routine that Sam Riegel, the voice actor's wife, did, and sent it to the animation team as a reference. That's actually awesome. And like I said, I'm going to be going back and watching a lot of these videos, live streams and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing all this stuff unfold in live stream, and some of these random things and guessing the voice actors' names. I'm looking forward to get into that. Agent 26, let's like yours real quick before I forget. So first off, I love your reactions. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Keep them up. I also wanted to point out that if you look back at the end of episode 7, after Anders cut Cassandra's throat, they gave her a clear moment. Yep, in front of the mirror. I saw that where she saw her reflection. So definitely not a vampire. Also, Delilah is a beast. She sure is. I didn't expect her to be this powerful. It makes me wonder, because you guys clarified that she wasn't a warlock, she was a wizard. So I don't know which one is more powerful between the two, but I'm looking forward to seeing a warlock whenever we run into him. A beast of a necromancer, wizard with or without the okay, so that answers a little bit. So she would have been a beast regardless, but the residuum absolutely helps and was a key factor in her being able to raise so many undead at once throughout Whitestone. Okay, so she definitely needs it for to I guess use her powers on the scale that we've seen in the show, it sounds like. Or I don't know, maybe she could have reached this, but it just would have taken her a longer time without the residuum to reach the scale of power. I don't know. So it's definitely an amplifier, making a difference in her power, and I like that. Who we got? Taishi Kojima. I gotta mention how happy I am you took a liking to Keyleth. I love Keyleth straight off the bat. It seems like, I don't know if they made a lot of changes to her in the show, or if people just didn't give her a fair shot in the live stream straight off the bat, but I love her so far. She got so much hate from the fandom, and it's nice to see someone else see what I always saw in her, in Marisha. That's the name, the woman who plays her. Keep it up. I'm looking forward to finishing out the series with you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it too. We only got 3 episodes left, 2 after this one, but I'm looking forward to. I know these cliffhangers are going to be the death of me, but I'm looking forward to everything we get. So let's like your comment real quick. Going to the next one, we got Jillian. Let's see what you said. The guest character in the season 3 opening was Robbie Damon. Okay, I asked about Kari, not Kari Payton, although Kari has appeared as a guest multiple times. Kari was only there for an episode or 2 in a row at a time. Okay, I don't know if we'll actually see him or hear his voice in this show too much more. I know he's the voice of Uriel, but I don't know how often we'll see Uriel. I assume we'll see him before the end of this season, and then a little bit more in season 2. I just don't know how pivotal he'll be with Vox Machina traveling so often. So I guess we'll see. The people in the second group with Pike, where the priest got it, the Everlight told her she didn't have to choose between being faithful to her and being with her friends. She just had to decide what form her faith would take. Got it. She could continue with Vox Machina, or choose to stay at a temple. And with this astral projection, I'm wondering if that's something she'll use on a consistent basis. But I feel like she wouldn't be staying true to herself if she didn't go with Vox Machina. And I feel like if she were to go with Vox Machina, even though I like seeing the astral plane, or not the astral plane, but the astral projection technique, it's more enjoyable with her being with them. I guess it adds to the plot. It makes things more, not pivotal, but I guess it gives it more weight or stakes, I guess you could call it. So her staying off at the church would be good for the show, but as far as enjoyment and just seeing her character more consistently, it would be fun to see her travel with the group. And with the group, I feel like she gets the best of both worlds because she gets to stay in her faith now that she knows that it wasn't the priest or her God punishing her. It was just her own doubt in herself. I feel like the route to go with the group would be the best for her, if that makes sense. So, Jillian, thanks again for your comment. Let's get to the next one. Piggy Bubbles, welcome back. I always enjoy seeing you down here. Nice catch with Delilah's residual necklace. It would explain why she could easily best most of Vox Machina in episode 3. I got it. I'm trying to think back. Was her necklace, right now it's got three stones in it. I can't remember if in episode 3 she had those same 3 or if she's added to it as we've gone forward. I'll have to pay closer attention to see if she adds more as we go up to episode 12. Probably not. I think it was still 3, but we'll see. I hadn't made the connection and just assumed she was just higher level and had access to more magic. Glad you're enjoying the show and can't wait for your next video. It's here, or if you're watching it, it's here. So I'm hoping you're enjoying this one too. Also love the Full Metal Alchemist reference. Thank you. I love that show. If you seem like you're a fan of it. So I've only watched the original Full Metal Alchemist. Let me know if Brotherhood is worth it or not. I always hear people compare it and say it's better, but I watched like the first episode and it seemed pretty close to what OG Full Metal was. So let me know if that's something I should watch and get into. Glad you're enjoying it. Unsure if you watch the English dub, but see if you can recognize the voices of Roy. Mustang and Lust. They're in this one. I haven't recognized them yet, but I'll pay close attention to see if I do. I know I've picked up on a couple voices that I've recognized, but I'll see if I can catch them. Thanks for pointing that out, Piggy. Let's get to Sarah J. I like that avatar. It looks familiar. Maybe it just reminds me of like the old animated Spider-Man cartoon, but I can't pinpoint who she's from or what she's from. Hey, I just found your channel. Welcome, Bidet. The other day and managed to watch all of your Legend of Vox Machina reacts just before you drop this one, so I'm very excited. I'm glad you're enjoying them so much. Stay tuned. I don't know how crazy things are gonna get, but I imagine I'm gonna enjoy it all the way to the end. So if you do pick up on Kith and Kin, 100% recommend the audiobook if you can get it. Liam Vax and Laura Vex voice actor lines in it, and it's a read by one of the new main guest players, Robbie Damon. Okay, got it. So he's pretty pivotal in the game now, who does a great job. The question about scrolls: generally you can't use a spell even on a scroll, unless it is one of the spells on your specific classes list. Got it. Bards and druids can use polymorph, but paladins and most clerics would not be able to even cast it from a scroll. Got it. Okay. The wizard class can learn spells specifically from scrolls. Can they retain the knowledge too? But all the rest of the classes can't do that in the game. However, I would not be surprised if they changed the flavor of that for the show to have had Scanlan learn it, who had polymorph on his spell list and not from a scroll. Got it. Just to make more sense narratively, instead of them just saying, hey, I got this new spell out of nowhere, guys. something. Okay, makes sense. Thank you, Sarah. Karen, always see you in here too. Karen Green. Residuum can replace any ingredients in a spell. Okay, so that I said was, I asked the question if it could replace diamonds for all spells. This can replace anything, but can it replace anything for all spells? If you guys can clear that up for me. As much as Whitestone does is or I skipped something. Having ingredients in a spell and having as much of it as Whitestone does is very, very useful. I can see it's definitely paying off for Delilah, especially if you plan on doing some world altering shit. With Pike, the Everlight is basically saying, whichever path you take, I will be with you. But you need to be sure of yourself and who you are. So she shows her two options: stay with her friends or stay with the temple. Got it. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get that right off the bat, but you guys clearing it up for me has definitely helped. So I've got that down pat now. Eric Burrigo. Hi, Bobby. Hey, Eric. Great series of reactions. Thank you. Welcome among the critters. Thank you, Bidet. Cassandra does cast a reflection in the mirror at the end of episode 7. It's been shown at the end of previous episodes when Anders cuts her throat. Yes, I did see that. I know I already clarified, but some of you guys are touching on it again. Anders has had a great resentment with the Derolos. I can tell just from that little brief flashback we got when he was teaching the kids. I like that aspect and the depth that, even though he got taken out in last episode, I don't think we'll see him again. I don't think he can be revived from that, but I like that they showed that to the point of wanting Cassandra and Percy to suffer instead of leveraging the sister as a negotiation token and having Percy being killed by his friends instead of trying to dominate him. In the original campaign, Anders was much less powerful, and while he dominated one of the Vox Machina and had a couple of Guardian armors, he hadn't posed a great threat to the group because he was basically 1 against 6, or versus 6. Makes sense. He was a bard that used oratory instead of music to cast spells and weaken his enemies, and did not have a literal silver tongue gifted to him by the Briarwoods. Got it. A couple of you have let me know that they changed that from the live streams a little bit. Again, when you guys let me know these details, let me know how you feel about the change. Like me, since I haven't watched the live streams yet, I'm just enjoying it and liking it as I take it in. So it has no effect on me, but the way that they presented it to me, I've enjoyed so far. I wonder if it takes away from the enjoyment at all for you, them changing things up, or does it add to it? Keyleth is a druid, and they are a Swiss Army knife. See, that's why I like her. I like, even in video games I play, even though it's not a lot of RPGs that I've touched on, like I don't know, even Elden Rings I want to play, the Demon Souls games I want to play. I know I would rage in them, but I would like to give them a try along with D&D. But I've always been partial, even in sports games, of picking like the balanced character. So I feel like even though I've been drawn to Keyleth and I've said I would like to be a druid in the game, that kind of confirms it for me. The fact that they are kind of like a jack of all trades. I would like that type of character. Among classes, because they have spells and abilities fit for many occasions: combat, exploration, healing, buffing, battlefield control. The power of some of her spells might have been a little exaggerated in the show for narrative purposes, and probably a little bit too, because they don't have Pike with them. So I would imagine that comes into play a little bit, even though they took, it seems like, because of Marisha being away for Blind Spot, they took her away for that reason, but also the narrative reading reasons, like you mentioned earlier in some of these comments, just giving Keyleth a little extra boost so that they stand more of a chance against some of these adversaries. So I like that. The way she saved Cassandra seemed to be the effect of Revivify spell, one of that returns to life a creature deceased by less than 1 minute. Okay, so maybe I was wrong, because maybe some of the comments confused me a little bit. Initially I thought that she died and came back to life, but when a couple comments actually said that she didn't actually die, that was just because of Matt playing the little game and kind of stringing the characters along to make it feel like she died, and then just to raise that tension. So did she die, or was that just the purpose of Matt and a little Easter egg for the show? However, that spell is not known to druids unless you adopt a recent official but optional D&D rule. Got it? Delilah Briarwood is a wizard with a specialization in necromancy, one of the 8 schools of magic. Okay, so we just we scratching the surface. I think you guys have mentioned 2 to me so far in the comment section throughout these episodes we've watched. So I'm looking forward to seeing those other ones. Being a wizard, she practices arcane magic in an academic way, studying and researching on textbooks and scrolls. Okay, so that makes me think. I know I said earlier, the power of Percy seems like it could be tied to the Whispered One and this arcane magic that she uses. So I'm wondering if we've seen kind of like the blueprints for these weapons he's making, and I know you guys have told me he's super smart. I wonder if the power for these weapons comes from him studying like she does in a way. I don't know if he had any access to these books when he was younger, when he was kind of on his own trying to survive. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But that raises questions for me. It's not clear if the shows implies that her spellbook is the one stolen by Vax, but it might as well be. Her necklace appears to be a conduit of magic, probably with residuum glass. At the end of this episode, she definitely used the chunk of residuum to power up her ritual spell. In D&D, there are various spells and powers to control another creature's will, but the most 2 common variations are charm and domination. The latter is straight up, the one that Anders used, straight up puppeteering like Anders did. The former is less potent. The victim considers the caster as the most trusted friend, taking his advice over others, but it can be resisted or broken if you are asked to do something truly against your nature. So I'm wondering if someone with that ability, would they start off with a charm? Like, can they start with a charm and as they see they're losing control of a character, upgrade it to that next tier? Or does it have to, from the offset, as soon as they set the spell, do they have to jump to that tier or set it at that level? If that makes sense. I know that I might be confusing you a little bit more, but I'm just wondering if as the spell is already activated, can it be upgraded in that moment, or does it have to be upgraded from the point or set at a certain level from the point you cast the spell? But it can be resisted or broken. Charm. You ask to do something truly against your nature. Vampires can charm, but not dominate. Okay. Even if as anything in the D&D abilities can be bent to the narrative as the dungeon master sees it. Got it. The space where Pike finds herself when meditating could be what in D&D is called, got it, okay, astral plane. I think someone else mentioned that, and I called it that earlier in this too, so I'll stick with that name for now unless there's a technical name for it. A dimension of thought and abstraction where a trained spellcaster can project themselves like they were in presence. The astral plane description may vary according to the specific D&D edition, but in one case is depicted as a black, infinite, flat ocean under a dark sky dotted with stars and silvery clouds. That description just makes it. I know I've shown love, I'll say it again, for these DMs, but I imagine that in the game, every time this astral plane, maybe not every time, but at least when it's first introduced, they go into detail in describing exactly how it looks, just so all the players involved get more invested and they know exactly, or they're able to imagine exactly what situation they're in. And I think that's amazing. Matt Mercer skillfully uses dreams, visions, and magic like this to represent the inner struggle of a character in a very cinematic way for the players and the audience. And yeah, skillful is probably even an understatement. All the detail that he goes into, and I'm not even hearing it from his mouth. This is just from things you guys have told me in the comment section. So I know seeing it play out live is pretty spectacular, and I could only imagine. I know it seems like I know he's a voice actor, so I wonder if any of his imagination or ability to improvise on the spot comes from him being familiar with scripts and things of that nature. I'm sure that helps, but even some of you guys who aren't in the voice acting community and just play the games for yourself, all you DMs that have reached out to me seem pretty imaginative. Even one of you, Adam, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the last part of your name, but Adam Purple Avatar, you started the D&D with your family. Some of the things you described to me seem pretty imaginative, and I don't think you're a voice actor or anything of that nature. So I only assume that the fact that he reads through scripts on a regular basis helps with his imagination and coming up with things and describing things in the format of like a screenplay, if that makes sense. So let's get moving, because I think we're pretty deep into this. We might be 40 minutes, damn. The two groups shown by the Everlight or Vox Machina, of course, representing Pike's will to be with her friends and cuss, drink, and fuck this shit up, and members of Everlight's church representing Pike's will to properly serve her deity by the book. Pike sees these two choices as the irreconcilable struggle between desire and duty. Sorry for the long comment. Y'all never need to apologize for your long comments. You know I love reading them. It takes a little bit of time, and I can't talk today, so words like irreconcilable are killing me. But this wonderful work of yours, and to everybody here, don't forget to love each other. Love you too, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying to think. Let's make that the last one, because I know we're deep into this. I want to get into this reaction, but we'll get into episode 9 and maybe a few more in episode 11 reaction. So let's get this reaction started. Okay, we starting off right where we left off. Cool. We gonna find out. And this voice actor right here, remind her. Oh, this is Ripley. Okay, this is the girl that that they showed in that little screenshot when they showed Anders, Delilah, and Silas. This is the girl I was wondering about.
It won't end well for you.
Ooh.
Just tell us how to access the secret under Whitestone, and this will all end.
Oh, so she was the torturer.
I told you. I don't know what you're talking about.
I do love it when they hold out.
Yep, killer. Oh!
Sadly, that may leave a mark. I'll need his sister.
Damn. And this is, it looks like it was from the very beginning of the torture, and this is early stages since his hair is still brown.
Doctor.
Percy, wait!
I don't blame him at all. I would have liked to get a little dialogue from her, but no, take her out. You've been waiting a long time to do that. For this show, that was a pretty quick intro. So we probably about to get into some shit this episode. I guess I could take some notes as far as intros go. Oh, just a warning shot, okay. Oh, who interrupted? Ooh, Cassandra, okay. She want answers, or she wanted revenge.
And here I thought you were the intelligent one. We're both engineers, Percival.
So?
We know the value of knowledge.
True,
You must be
but
curious
you
as to the
also
information
tortured
I
him.
possess.
Not that curious.
Brother, wait!
Why should I?
I've been with the Briarwoods for years, and I know next to nothing about their motives.
Okay, so she's gonna be our answer, or our description for their motives. You gonna torture her, or are we just using words? She sounds like Azula. I don't know if I said that prior to the intro kicking in.
Lovey, you are legit fucked up. Not this again.
It's been getting worse. Pike, can you divine anything?
If Percy will let me.
The fact that he's willing to do that makes me kind of think that maybe he didn't seek out this power. I don't know if I'm right in thinking that, but damn. He hotter than the damn devil.
Percy!
Oh.
I don't know what it is, but something is clouding your soul.
That
To
was
get you to a temple.
obvious to me, but Right off the bat,
As
that
soon as
little
this is over, I will sort it
demon
out.
that attacked or whatever that was reminds me of the Nine Tails from Naruto. I'm always relating things to other shows I've seen to make sense of it, but that's what it reminds me of.
And why am I not simply shooting you, heading to the throne room, and doing the same to them?
Because, Percival, they aren't there. Their concerns lie with the ziggurat.
Ziggurat. One of you mentioned that in the comments. I forget what it was.
That thing in the skin book of evil.
Oh,
Makes
what
sense.
Keyleth was trying to explain. Okay.
Their ritual, whatever it is, it'll happen there. And the ziggurat is not up. It's down.
The dark power I sense through the Sentry's roof.
I was just about to say at the base of it when I saw her necromancer power.
Truth.
I don't trust a word she says.
Then trust me.
I do kind of believe her, to be honest. Even though she a piece of shit, she was torturing them as kids.
I can take you there.
I've noticed a little bit of a theme, at least with Anders and Ripley so far. The Briarwoods have kind of taken advantage of critters. Don't you just love it when I miss obvious details like these? Damn you, Critical Role, for being so good at hiding these obvious clues in plain sight. Back to the reaction, man. People who have their own motives, or they want something, like they both wanted to more resources to further their research. And the Briarwoods seem to use them, but then give them ability to further the research. So they're taking advantage of them in a way too.
At the moment, you are the luckiest person in Whitestone. Because you're at the bottom of my list.
Okay. Did Percy change his jacket, by the way? I don't remember it being green. I want to say it was like a gray or a navy or something. Oh, yeah. Is that Yenin? Yeah.
The Dawnfather shall stand.
About to
as
wreck
a
y'all
flame in
shit.
the dark. Whitestone is our home, and today we take it back.
Nice. Okay. So the reason I had that reaction, I wasn't sure if Pike's ability to enchant their weapons would last this long, but it seems like it is. So I wonder if it doesn't wear off until she takes damage or something, or has to focus her powers more on something else. Was that by accident? Okay, I thought it triggered like a trap door and he just knew where it was.
Buddy?
She can feel it.
Whoa, I mean, you feel real.
I am, Grog.
Nice. I don't know why, but I love her voice so much. She might have my favorite voice in this. It's just, it sounds good. And it just matches her character really. Is that how she really sounds? Or is she altering her voice for the character?
Yeah.
Damn, he took her arm off her. I'm hoping that we've had some moments where Vax is really focused on Keyleth, like in the middle of battle. I hope that doesn't come to a point where it gets them in trouble or somebody injured.
Where are we?
Our family tomb. It holds generations of Derolos. Uncle Nathaniel?
Ooh, all family members. Okay. See, this is what I wanted in Game of Thrones. When they were down in the crypt, I wanted all their family to come back to life. Nice. Yeah, see? Her attacks take out like their whole body and disintegrate them right away. So I'm thinking her ability has some special effect or extra HP against these dead creatures. Nice.
How long is he gonna stay like that?
You know what? What that makes me think? I wonder when Pike isn't the one to take them out, since when everybody else attacks and they just turn into bones, could someone like Anders with the silver tongue reanimate those bones? And when Pike takes them out, it's just gone.
Mind giving this a shove, big man?
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
I love their relationship.
However, can little old me survive without you?
Well, since you asked so nicely.
Since you put it that way. Damn, this looked like it would be a lair for a dragon or something.
I don't trust her.
You don't trust anyone.
Well, except you.
Funny way of showing it sometimes.
Damn. So stop giving her the cold shoulder, Vax.
Whatever the Briarwoods are planning down there, we must end it.
Right, yeah. Dumb suggestion, Keyleth.
Yeah, really disappointed, Keely.
Wait, what? No, Scanlan's the one who said. God.
Yeah, I know I just said I love Grog and Vax's relationship, but everyone has their chemistry on screen is great.
It's a drug factory. We just hit the jackpot.
Sniff it. Sniff
Anybody
it.
have a pipe?
I'm fairly certain that would be an unpleasant trip. This is residuum.
Ooh.
Pipe.
This was Anders' domain. I only helped them with the ziggurat.
This
What
is
the
his
heck
laboratory,
is this
huh?
for?
Uh-oh, why those... Does anything happen to those rats? I know Scanley didn't sniff any, but if they eat some or sniff some, could something happen?
Cassandra!
What? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, shit. No, Vax is... No, I don't like this. I don't... What the hell is going on?
Piss before I forget my manners.
Cass!
What the hell is she doing? She must be under the brow. Is she under the charm? But if she was under the charm, the fact that Andra slit her throat would have lifted it, right? I don't know. Ooh, I don't know what's going on.
Why are you doing this?
You did this to yourself, Percy. The day you left me lying in the snow.
See, I asked this.
Hunted animal. My brother abandoned me.
Fuck. Oh, okay. There's a little bit of a charm going on, but
I have a new family.
but this is like you said. This must be that second tier of
Never leave me.
control. I forget what it was called, but
I am a Briarwood.
fuck. Okay, so I asked if she had some last episode. She briefly said something to him that made me think she had resentment towards him still. There's my answer.
Than it is to us.
Don't fret. We'll take excellent care of him.
Oh no.
Be a lamb, would you?
Oh no, and the fact that he I was asking why he's being given Vex this cold shoulder. The fact that he's under control now, he might hold some type of resentment towards her too. So it might be kind of difficult to lift this charm too for him.
There must be a way out of this. Anyone have a plan?
Pike, do something.
Percy, a little help? Right, well.
Damn, he's in shock.
Try to stop the acid.
Okay.
Pike, can't you just, pass through walls?
I'm not a ghost, Scanlan. If I break the connection, there's a chance I won't be able to come back.
So there is a little bit of a limit to it. Okay. Not just damage she takes.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
Go rage mode.
Cut it off. It might buy us some time.
And how do you propose we do that?
Oh shit. Can she use residuum too to increase her amplify her power?
No plan. Stay out of the acid.
What's up? What's up? Anything up? They could lift him on a hand or something. There you go. Nice. But I don't know if there's
Percy, get over here!
an opening at the. Oh, come on, Percy.
Oh, great. Percy's broken.
Float over there.
So unless you want to go swimming, we need to come up with something fast.
Damn.
Percy, snap the fuck out.
Oh, he's gone.
Came here
Uh-oh,
risking our lives for you.
is that spirit gonna take over? I wonder, does he have any more weapons in that bag, or was it just the one-shot rifle?
Scanlan, can you get us to the ceiling?
But how? You fuckers are too heavy.
Oh,
Wait, that's it. Heavy.
metal, nice. Okay, I don't know if it's like the pace of the music that increases the effectiveness of the magic, or if it's just like the loudness.
There appears to be a third to pull simultaneously.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
damn.
We need to triangulate it.
Exactly. Why didn't you say something earlier?
There's no visible.
Uh,
In the acid?
who going down there?
Insane to go in.
I'm going in.
Ooh. I was gonna say, is this not gonna affect him? Ugh. Oh, she's protecting him. Okay. Oh, she's not protecting him, just healing him as he goes. Okay. That's some calculated placement of bubbles. Good job, Amazon.
Ready?
Can he hear you to know when? I feel like he gonna pull it early or something. Okay. Nice girl. Nice girl. Don't suck him in, though. Damn. Cheeks.
Good to have you back, Percival.
Since I helped out, don't you think I earned my
Okay, yeah, his jacket is navy. I guess it was just the color of the dungeon that was changing it.
Cassandra.
Oh man, I don't know what's about to happen. I'm not looking forward to this cliffhanger.
The ritual requires a blood sacrifice.
Oh, come on, y'all got someone else you can use. There go them damn stakes. Is that the end? Oh shit. Oh, you guys know the drill. Watching the credits. We'll be back in a few minutes to discuss. Okay, man. So another great episode. That, believe it or not, that cliffhanger wasn't terribly bad. I mean, or good, however you want to call it. It wasn't so abrupt, I guess you could say. A really good one. I'm excited to get into the next episode. You know, we only do one of these a night for the most part, but I'll probably do this next episode tomorrow night, so it'll be ready for next Thursday. But really good. We got a lot, some more. Like I said, last episode flipped me on my head a little bit. This one did a little bit of the same, but we gonna walk through it. You know what we do. We go through the timeline a little bit, so I don't miss anything. Okay, starting off, we got right into Ripley. I did ask at the end of last episode if that could be her. I just couldn't remember her face from when they showed that little screenshot of all of them together. So yeah, that's her. Apparently she was like the team engineer. I like, I don't know if I should say I like, but I do kind of appreciate the fact that these people aren't just random characters and they actually have a purpose. They're not just people with powers. I like that they have their own kind of desires, with Anders wanting all the residuum production, and then Ripley wanting to be able to fund her research for more engineering purposes. I like that, along with the Briarwoods using them for whatever they needed them for, they were actually using them in return as well. So it was kind of a double-edged sword. And speaking of sword, I'm still waiting to see that damn blood blade from Silas, but we might get in this next episode. We'll see. But I do like that they introduced that little aspect. So we got that. Apparently she was, along with the engineer, she was torturing too. I don't know how long that torture went on for. I think Silas said he was trapped for 2 weeks. His hair was still brown in the little flashback that we got in this episode. So that must have been pretty early. And actually, you know what? Now that I think of it, Pike could have done this. But he got scarred up pretty good. And she actually mentioned the fact that that's going to leave a mark or something. I haven't seen, the one was on his chest, but she put one on his neck too. And I haven't seen that throughout this series. So I'm wondering if this little demon spirit, whatever he's got inside of him, has the ability to heal him as well. That seems like it could be the case, unless Pike just did it. So in the moment when Pike was going to kind of attempt to heal him, or at least see what was going on with him, when the little demon fought her back and kind of reached and grabbed her arm, it reminded me of the Nine-Tailed Fox, and that would be another connection if it does have the ability to heal the person it's taken over, Percy in this instance. So I like that. Like I said, I compare things to things that I've already seen in other shows: Lord of the Rings, Naruto anime, Full Metal Alchemist. You guys have gotten all the references for the most part, so that's helping me out a little bit, connect dots, along with all the answers you guys give me in the comment section. So that's actually really cool to be able to correlate this between other shows. So I like that. Even if that's not their initial intention with the scenes that they're showing them, I like that it raises those questions and does that for me. So Ripley, she's got connection, or at least she has knowledge of this ziggurat. I don't know how much more she knows about it. It seems like she's going to be figuring out as we go, along with Percy and the rest of the group. Cassandra. She's been kind of weird throughout since they reintroduced her. And I even asked if you guys remember if she held some type of resentment towards Percy. That showed off in this episode a little bit, and I'm glad that came back into play. I didn't think it was going to be to this capacity where she would actually come back and turn on him, even though the charm is involved. I didn't think this would happen. I really didn't see it coming. So they did a good job pulling the wool over our eyes with that one, or at least mine. Let me know if you guys saw it coming. But as far as that goes, I don't know exactly how. I'm kind of thinking. Obviously, they could reverse the charm in some way. I guess if he commands her or tries to command her to do something that she doesn't feel comfortable doing. Maybe if he tells her to kill Percy, in this instant, in this moment, he just had them kind of lie to him and lead him down here and set him up to the most part. And that feels like it would fit under the umbrella of maybe just holding resentment towards him and not so much hating him or wanting to cause him harm for what he did to her by leaving her behind. So I'm wondering if Silas eventually tells her to try and kill him, she'll snap out of the charm like that. So we'll have to see. As far as Vax goes, I questioned it right beforehand. Why is he giving her Vex the cold shoulder? And now he's kind of going along with this charm, and since he does have a little bit of resentment, it's playing to Silas and Delilah's favor. So I'm not exactly how that's gonna play out, but I feel like it'll work out pretty quickly, especially with the pacing of these episodes. We'll see, but it's definitely got me intrigued. I love that the direction they've taken this in. We saw that Pike's ability still works on the weapons of the townspeople and the resistance, even though she's not there. And actually, rewinding a little bit, the fact that she's not there, I wonder if she had been there in person physically. If when she went to assist Percy, I know she said they need to get him back to the temple, but if she was there physically, could she had a little bit more success in trying to push back against that evil spirit? Maybe that's a possibility. I don't know how much weaker she is opposed to her physical form to this astral projection. So we'll see. And that makes me think about Grog too. We had him dive in the acid. That came up a little bit later in the episode, but how much does I'm wondering how much his HP or power raises when he's in that rage mode. I wonder if maybe he would have taken a lot more damage when he dove into the acid pit if he wasn't in rage mode, and then obviously if Pike wouldn't have been there to help heal him as he was going deeper and deeper, or in there longer and longer. So we got that. We got them going to the ziggurat. I'm still not sure what role it's gonna play. Obviously, it's gonna involve some type of ritual, and the fact that Cassandra is setting them up. I know they just took Vax, but that just seemed to be the way things planned out. I don't think that was their plan, because the door was closed and Vax just happened to slide under at the last second. So I'm thinking that their goal isn't just to take Vax and use him as a blood sacrifice. I'm thinking that they might need or try to use all the whole group. I don't know how much power this spell or what the spell is going to be for, and how much they're going to need to sacrifice in order for it to work if they were to pull it off. So I'm assuming they're going to try to use the rest of them as well as some type of sacrifice. Whether I don't think they'll be able to pull it off, because I don't think I could be totally wrong. I don't think we're gonna lose any of the group in this series. I know that sounds like a little bit of plot armor, but I think they're scaring us a little bit. But I don't know if they'll actually take someone out in the main cast. So we'll see. As far as we got Vax under the charm. Delilah's still doing her thing. Actually, this one was I questioned whether Delilah was kind of like the leader, and I still think that's kind of the case, because I feel like she holds most of the power, and I do feel like she really does have feelings, love for Silas, but I wonder if there's a point to where she's using him for a greater purpose, kind of like how they're using Anders and Ripley. So I wonder if that could be a case. Just a theory. You guys know I like to reach a little bit, so we got to see a little bit more of Scanlan's power. He was able to amp it up a little. Amp it up. Speakers, you guys get it. Amp up his power a little bit by playing a little bit louder. So that was cool to see. Just another level to his power level. I thought Percy was gonna turn, to be honest, into like his smoke when he found out about Cassandra. Oh, and another aspect, her name popped up on the gun. So I'm wondering, all these names need to be scratched off the gun. I wonder if are these names more so tied to the spirit and Percy's anger, or are these names that him, regardless of being possessed, would want to take out? I feel like, and if they're on the gun, do they have to be taken off? Can the name be taken off without that person being killed? Say if Cassandra, if the charm gets lifted and she kind of jumps back over to the good side, I feel like it would be kind of hard, because even if that were to happen, Percy would still have a hard time trusting her. But at the same time, I feel like he understands why she's mad at him. So I just wonder if the name can be scratched off without him actually having to kill her. Or will it come to the point, if he's got the gun pointed to her, will that spirit pull the trigger? Because at the end of the last episode, he pulled the gun on Ripley. I kind of assumed that they would keep her around since he didn't shoot her right off the bat to end that episode. But he pulled the trigger and Cassandra actually saved her. So, and the fact that Cassandra saved her scares me a little bit. Maybe they're still in cahoots a little bit. I don't know. But then again, they gave the little speech at the end where Silas was talking trash to Cassandra a little bit, so maybe not. But going back to my point, with Cassandra being with Silas and Delilah, I wonder if the fact that she has been with them for so long, does that add any control? Does it make the spell or the charm more powerful because she's been under it so long? Just a question, but I know it's going to play out in these next couple episodes. So we'll have to see how that goes, how that plays out. What else did we get in this episode? Let's see. And I know we touched on it a little bit throughout this whole little review, but I like seeing Ripley with the group. I don't know why, I kind of like her character. It's just fun to kind of see Percy's lighter side, and I know he's just doing it because it's a ends to a mean and she can help them in the moment. But this kind of adds to my question too. Can a name be scratched off the list? Say if Ripley helps them out in a major way and kind of proves that she, even though she tortured him and he might not be able to get over that, but if she continues to help them and kind of changes Percy's perspective on her, can her name be scratched off the list too? I'm wondering. I don't know. They're going back and forth with Cassandra. I don't know if we're going to see another flip of the coin and she'll be back on the good side, or if she's gone for good. I don't know. A lot of questions from this episode, but another great one. That's the end of this one, end of this discussion review, theorizing questions. You guys got it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like the button, share it for me. Send it to, I got to follow Critical Role and some of the casts on Instagram. I've kind of avoided it up to this point because I didn't want to get spoiled on anything, but I got to do that. Maybe I'll share a couple videos to them. Maybe someone will see it and get some more enjoyment out of it. So if you guys enjoyed, like it, like I said, I'll catch you in the next one. Some of you guys have jumped over to the Expanse reactions. I'm about to watch another episode of that. So yeah, I'll catch you over there. Love you all. Fare, bid well. I don't know if is there a term for goodbye instead of good day? Let me know in the comment section, but I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.